Oh, bravo, bravo. It's very, you play with a great deal of attention and very seriously, and that's exactly how this repertoire deserves to be approached. So it is wonderful in that sense. I found that you are more observing and more attentive the dynamics than the verbal instructions of Beethoven. And I think that it is not exactly such a good thing, because Beethoven writes it, well, we'll see. You see, it's quite improvisatory. It's the time when he sort of already doesn't care so much about the classical structure. It's actually romantic music, in other words. And so the character of the sonority, it is especially important, and he writes it. That's, by the way, very good present that we as performers receive. He didn't trust so much performance, and so he was writing everything that he thought was important. So, for example, when he says in the beginning piano and dolce, so dolce is no less important than piano, and the sound should have, well, sweetness, so it's like he puts his hands on the instrument and starts. It flows. It flows, and it is not. You should not be angular at all in that in this thing. Of course, there is difference. The right hand is a little bit deeper than the left, and you have also to remember that it starts in the middle of the bar. Yes. Every time, only at the end once it starts at the beginning of the bar, and that apparently deserves certain attention and approach. But let's say here, so this feeling of dolce and of really absolutely unforced, it's not according to any plan. It's very simple harmonic sequence that he used a few sonatas earlier in last movement, which is tam tar tam tar. And generally it is very, very sort of common, very normative thing that used very often. But of course, in Beethoven, every time it has very special meaning. For example, this ta-ta-ta-tam, we have plenty of that in Haydn, in Mozart, wherever. But it is, according to Beethoven, it became this fate motif, and Brahms' obsession with this motif almost in every work, sometimes hidden and sometimes shown openly, is because of Beethoven and not because of all other precedents. So here, the important thing is to say it's not let's start, but it's just sit down and you put your hands on the keyboard and go for free. Nobody really stands here with a stopper or with metronome or whatever. And again, vivace ma non troppo. So what? It's of course not to fall asleep. So it's vivace. It's alive, but not too fast. So it basically says, well, you find your vivace ma non troppo, something, this speed and character. But dolce is something that he says it must be. So let's hear. Okay, now it's not a ta-tam, because we have on the first note we have also a long stem. So could it be so that you play the first note and then three of them Okay, so now I think it's very good. I would like that this cadence. It goes tirim, 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 wow, finish. Then again, okay? And he is clear enough about that. He adds double.
Yes.
Yeah, please. Watch out, please, so that the left hand is not overpowering the right. It is and it has to go to here, and it's too much. It has to be for passionate, and it is forte, but it's still, we have all the texture to take care of, not only those notes that are moving. Yeah, so, but, we have crescendo. We actually have piano and then crescendo in 2/16 notes and then again piano. So, right? So it's strange, but it is strange in a way that it's like suddenly he felt like it. It is, again, a matter of improvisation, of feeling. And you have to become convinced that that's how you feel also. You see? Dolce, dolce, dolce. Okay. So, you did it as if there is forte, diminuendo, and then piano and crescendo. The point is that there is no diminuendo. So it goes forte and then down starts new thing, not from where the down movement went, but something new. Down, please. Okay. Could you please pay attention to pedal marking here? When it returns up, what happens? Can you play slowly and with attention to that? After. So that when it comes for some time, short while, together with the previous harmony. So it is not very clean, intentionally so. Try. And in the middle, between the G sharp and E sharp in the left hand and the F double sharp, in the middle you change. Okay, and now we have diminuendo and not starting down, starting later. Now you see, so you could say, well, why you're such a pedant looking at exactly those things. Well, it's not me, it's Beethoven that he writes it in such a way. And he doesn't write it because he doesn't care. He writes because he does care very much. He wants this special thing. It is different first time, second time. You see? Okay. I agree that you play here piano. I would not bet my money on that you played espressivo. It's lonely, but it is so heartfelt, you see. That's romanticism, pure and simple. It's Schumann who could write that, you see. So don't play, say, well, it's piano, so I'm playing piano. So I'm okay. I'll get good mark on my examination. It's not that thing. It should be, it's something that is very essential for you to say. And it comes as often unexpectedly. And then suddenly, and yet rhythmical and everything else together. So the quality of sound, you see, those little things, they are not less important, they are not less crucial and faithful here than they would be, for example, in a prelude by Debussy, where you have those levels of sonority. The levels are very important here. So please. Please. No rubatos. Yes, and could you? It's actually very good, but when the ta 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 the 6 becomes 4, let it be the function of sort of ritardando that he writes, not ta 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 ta. If there were not ritardando, so maybe that could have been the intention. But here, you see, Brahms often does that. He writes, after triplets, writes duplets, and that means that things slows down. For example, I think it's the Rhapsody number 2 in G minor, there is such thing towards the end. But doesn't matter. Here, he writes ritardando, and then he also writes 4 instead of 6 to 4. So he explains actually what he means by ritardando. Please. Maybe a little bit less pedal in down, bum, bum, bum. So, but not dry. With pedal, but. So, what is the difference between what we have here and what we had in the beginning?
The goes and change.
Right, exactly. Yeah. So that the thing that has the quarters is in the right, in the left hand here, and was in the right hand there. And the answer, on the other hand, it used to be left hand answering to the right, which has the initiative, and here the right hand answers to the left, which has initiative. And it's important when you come ta 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 ta. You did it very well. Ta 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 ta. Not to stop before it goes. You enter absolutely smoothly this beginning sonority and beginning tempo. After scale. And here we find ourselves already there. It's like in a miracle. It's in a fairy tale that something happens and then you open your eyes and you are already in different reality. It's time machine, let us say, yes? Okay. I think it was too much of a ritardando. Because then you didn't know exactly. You have to calculate, more or less, this ritardando in such a way that your 16th notes, let us say for the last maybe 4 or 6 16th notes on the scale, ta 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 ta, come to the same, to be continued then. I would suggest that you don't do any crescendo whatsoever, any dynamics here. It's the first time it's dolce, because then we start huge crescendo, which goes through three stages. First it is crescendo, then it is those accents, and then again crescendo returns. So it is one process. First you go gradually, then you go like this, because it would be too long to do gradually everything. So please. But there is no such place. Excuse me. Da 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 ti 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 ti. Yeah, and if you could without staccato. Let's do it again from the top of the page. Yes. Okay. But you got a little bit too late, this piano. It is what we had in the beginning, the cadence. Here it is different, but actually amounts to the same thing. You see, we have here more chords. There it was only two last chords. Yes. And here we have them starting earlier. Still, the piano comes only on two last ones. No. This is piano. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Sorry. I think that pedal you should on every quarter change, not every two, because it is not impossible, but it sounds a little bit unclear. If we have in the melody, even though one is accentuated note, the other is not, but if the distance between them is a second, it's on the same pedal, it doesn't sound very... When the crescendo starts, it starts from the same level that we were in this forzando. Don't go down. Okay? Stop. So now you did it well. When the G sharp comes, which is actually beginning of the recapitulation, isn't it? So when it comes, there is nothing in the left hand. It doesn't come as a 6/4 chord. No, because it's already this bass. And it's very important to show, because the meaning is also of the structural manner. It is beginning of the recapitulation. Before. Don't bang left hand. Taram, it should of course participate, but it's not taram. It's too strong. Left hand more, and right. Yeah, and where it is. Okay, but don't say, well, who cares? It's the second 8 note in the quarters. No, it's very much important. But not. Yes. Pam, pam. You did approximately, but it is important. We had in the left hand 8 notes, 4/8 note chord. And here it is 16th. So it is like one, and the other one is already that octave in the bass, right? So please. So, okay, just to make order. It is again a little bit different because here we don't have neither diminuendo nor piano. All the passage comes forte until the top chord, which is on with the same thing with pedal. Okay, then we have this fortissimo even, fortissimo, mind you, and it goes halfway up, then starts diminuendo, and what the thing is, the only time that the pedal he writes to change exactly. Now, I don't know if anybody knows what he had in mind, but the least that we can do is just to execute it the same way. So here you really change pedal, but only here. Otherwise, it's always a little bit after. You make them like fade in and fade out. Here it is clear cut. This is not espressivo any longer. It is leggero. Espressivo should continue. It's every third going down and then second going up. They're very important. They're very essential. Not just embellishment. It's not clouds. Okay, and if you could please not add any ritardando, because what he wanted he wrote. In other words, the 30 seconds remain the same, but in the left hand he puts the 16th notes, and that's enough. And then 16th notes continue in triplets upwards. Okay, now this is legato, so it's not. Harmonically, you show that. Yeah, and how do we know that it's not now it starts on the beat. So it is coda, and this ambiguity between the beginning and the downbeat finally is resolved in such a way. Yes. So you have to be aware, and even if your audience who doesn't know this piece in detail, this does not understand what happened, it feels that something happens, that it is something happening, okay? It's a new process. It's the kind of little conflict between C natural and C sharp. Don't ignore it because you start as no tor, okay. Yeah, please. Not tam pam pam. Stop. We have in the top voice, at the end of the bar 4, we have a rest. You hold the pedal as if it was certainly quarter note. It's quarter tam ta ta tam ta ta tam ta tam ta ta ra tam. Yeah, and only mind you in the top voice, the F sharp remains all bar and left hand octave remains entire bar. And hold it. This is cadence. And cadence, you never put accent on the last unless there is some special indication. And here it's not. Tam, pam, pam. That's it. Okay, but ta 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 ta. He wants the emphasis. Yes, it is not conventional, but maybe that's the special thing about it. And you say, well, who cares? Tam ta ta. You make it weaker. Okay. Flat. No. Yeah, there's no staccato. Now it's pretty. You start crescendo. You see, the way you play, it's not clear. Maybe because it's complicated, so you suddenly play stronger. It's not. It is crescendo. But then you have to say, yeah, that's how I want it. It's not that it happens against your will or something like that. You see. Now it. You see. So when this comes, it has to be pianissimo. Otherwise, we don't feel this sudden change. It is sudden, subito. Yeah, could you please more show? Ti ta 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 ta. You see, it begins too early. Syncopation, right? In this syncopation, this last 8th note is more important than new bass. Because otherwise it seems that something is not exactly done. And it is exact, except that he wants the phrase to start 1/8 note before the downbeat. The only reason that in the left hand first note is only a quarter is only in the bass is because the second one is in the right hand. Yes. But it is tam, pam, 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 pam. It's okay. right hand has to be very clear. Ta 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 ta. Those triplets. Ya ta 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 ta. Yeah, you could maybe a little bit show more. So this descending second. Also, don't play mechanical. This is it's complicated because it is polyphony.
Yeah.
It's yeah.
I know.
Well, yeah, but it is quarter notes and they're not staccato. The difference between exposition and here is that there in the beginning it is in unison and it is flat. And then comes this. Here it is the other way around, right? So this is really and then and that one rises. Can you play slowly the chord? Now it's okay. There is one little thing, and we will be finishing because our time is finished. Sure. But when we have pattern with long note and short, it doesn't mean that the long note is necessarily stronger and we have to give more attention to it. Rather, to the contrary, it's ta, it's not ta, 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 not ta, 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 but ta, 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 because it is expressive, this dissonantic, short but dissonant note that resolves into long one consonant. So it is that's where the emotional tension resides, not in the long note. Long note is okay; it's on this is consonant note and so on. So, and now let's show this. It goes. Very good. Now here, tim pam pam. So it's not only piano, but there in forte it is staccato, and here it is not. Yes. Can you do it again? Ya ta 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 ta. The triplets. we have this. Which one will be the least strong? The least strong.
The least is strong.
Yeah. The weakest. I mean, they're all fortissimo, or forte, staccato, whatever. But between them, what is the hierarchy?
The first one. Or the mi.
Well, but there are twice mi. Which one? This, and this. So we said mi. Okay, so which one? This or this?
I think the last one will be like the finish, like the end.
So what that means? That you are correct, absolutely correct. But what does it mean
I mean
that it is finished? So what?
direction, like for me, I think it's good. It's the last thing, so I need to.
Well, so I would put against it a counter argument is that it is a resolution of tension. This is tension, and it's not that we crash into the wall, but we know that we have to stop. It is, of course, still forte and energetic, but of those three, I would say that the last one should not be the strongest. It's obvious, it's the end, it's the resolution, and in harmony, classical harmony at any rate, when we have tension, dissonant and all that, it is always more powerful and more, in terms of volume, stronger than when it being resolved. Okay, so thank you very much. It was very, very nice.